In September 2010, I remember driving onto Gordon-Conwell Theological Seminary's Hamilton campus for the first time. I drove up that hill and thought it was one of the most beautiful buildings, beautiful spots I'd ever seen, and I was really looking forward to the next 3 years. And it did not disappoint. I graduated with my Master of Divinity in 2013, along with my wife, Monica Romig, who also got her Master of Divinity. In the summer of 2012, Monica and I took a church planting and growth class. We had to study a real community, and we asked a fellow mentor what we should study, and he said the town of Westford. We did all the real-world analysis, interviews. We presented the information to him and his elders, and then we went back to seminary for another year. That next year, I was hired as the associate pastor of that church, Emmanuel Church in Chelmsford, and then 6 months later, Westford Bible Church approached Emmanuel and said, "Hey, would you take our building and start a new church?" And so the very community that I had studied a year and a half earlier became the community where we would eventually plant Cornerstone Congregational Church. We launched our weekly services on Saturdays in October 2015. And then we switched to Sundays in 2019. Things were going well, and then COVID hit. During this time, I also had the privilege of going back to Gordon-Conwell to participate in the Akenge Fellows cohort, which was a wonderful program where we talked about art and culture and business, theology, medicine, end of life, brought all these fascinating topics together and how they applied to us and our ministries and the people of our churches. I also started my Doctor of Ministry program, studying ministry in New England with Dr. Jason McConnell and Dr. David Horn. Lord willing, I'm going to graduate with my Doctor of Ministry this coming January 2023. I studied political discipleship. How do we make disciples in such a political environment in our church? Preached a 10-week sermon series called Faith and Flourishing on Politics, which is available on YouTube if you want to check it out. When COVID hit, my wife and I began to go through a time of reflection and thinking about what the Lord might be calling us to next. And over the course of 2 years, the Lord confirmed and called us out to Colorado. So we now live in the beautiful state of Colorado, and I have recently been hired to serve as a donor relations specialist at Providence Network, which is a nonprofit ministry in Denver to the homeless, to those who have experienced domestic violence. The cool thing is I'm going to use that church experience, that theological experience from Gordon-Conwell, be able to help churches partner and do ministry in Denver. So grateful for Gordon-Conwell. I'm going to miss that Hamilton campus that is so beautiful, but really my Gordon-Conwell experience was enriched by the people I met, obviously my wife, and then the seminary professors. I loved my MDiv, and I really loved my Doctor of Ministry program. So thank you, Gordon-Conwell, and thank you to the leadership for all the decisions you're making. God bless.